everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Imagine being 7 months pregnant, going over your child's father's house and walking in on him cheating on you. Imagine you walk through the door to go use the bathroom and the person that he's cheating on you leaves the bathroom and nothing but his wife beater to go to the bedroom across the hall. And you're stunned. You're at a place that you like, oh, 1 + 1 ain't equaling 2. Excuse me? That's what happened to me. And it's not funny. At that point, I had never been cheated on before. And if I had, I didn't have any real proof of it. Like, that was groundbreaking for me. So buckle up. So let me just go ahead and tell you the story. Now, before I go into the story, understand that this is not a story of me bashing my ex. This is not a story of me bringing shame to him, but it is a real story. Okay, let me just say my flapper was gasted. Okay, my pearls were clutched. I was shocked. Now, let's start at the beginning. Let's rewind all the way back. Because this story is not just about me being cheated on, but it's also about taking accountability for the part that I played in this story. And I bet y'all thinking, girl, you got cheated on. What part could you have played? Buckle up. Let's start at the beginning. Okay, so this takes place around good old 2020. 2021. Okay, that is the setting of this story. Okay, 2020, my auntie dies, and if you know me, then you know I'm adopted. You know that my auntie raised me my whole life, and then she passed at 74 years old in 2020. Rewind, she passed in July. Rewind to the end of August, early September. I meet my child's father at a popular Nigerian. Okay, so I'm at a popular Nigerian spot, right? You know, dealing with my grief the way I was doing at that time. Drinking, smoking, anything outside of God's will to try to deal with the pain that I was feeling because I didn't know how to properly digest my emotions, sit with them, and overcome them, right? That's something I learned later. Anyway, so I'm at this spot. We have a mutual friend. The mutual friend introduces me to him, and he says that he's looking for a woman. You know, he just got out of a relationship. He's not, really into anybody right now. He's single. He's trying to find somebody. I'm like, okay, cool. So I take down his number. We're chatting to see what he likes because I have a lot of homegirls trying to get him hooked up with somebody. Along the way, we find out that we like each other and that, we're actually pretty compatible. So we start gisting, we start talking, we start to get to know one another or whatnot. Now, fast forward, this is September. We get together for the first time. And when I say get together, y'all know what I mean. We've been talking for a little while. Again, I met him early August. So we've been talking for at this point, maybe 2 months, right? Going on 3 because October 8th, I will never forget that day. I come down. Now at that point, I'm in Louisiana. I'm going back and forth, getting ready to move to Texas, whatever. I come down on October the 8th and, things progress. And, the first time this man touched me, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, pregnancy. Now, when they say that Nigerian men are not for the weak, they are not for the weak. The sperm be sperming, okay? Because first time he touched me, and we used a condom, baby, okay? Now I'm a mother, and I never planned to be a mother. But we here. All right. So I'm digesting that. So at that point, I didn't know I was a mother. I thought I was a mother October 31st. We at the house and I'm in the bed and my tatas are hurting. When I say hurting, women, y'all know when y'all about to come on your cycle and you get that little swelling and it's like a uncomfortable feeling. That times 2,000,053. Okay, it was insane, the amount of pain that I was in. So I knew something wasn't right. So this man kept telling me, oh, you're pregnant, you're pregnant, you're pregnant. I ain't want no kids. So I was very upset. I was like, stop saying that. Why are you want to curse me? What's wrong with you? Fast forward, I go to the little clinic. Lo and behold, I am with child. Okay, I got belly. My leg is broken. Whatever region you from, I'm about to have a baby. So I'm really upset, and I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. I was thinking of my life choices. Do I want to be a mother? Is there something else? So yeah, I'm weighing my options at this point, because I'm like, for me, I've always saw myself, again, being a rich auntie. I'm out here living my best life. I was not sitting down at this time. If you know me, I was traveling. Every time you look up, I'm somewhere different. Every time you look up, to the point my mom had to make me get, my birth mom had to make me get a location finder on my phone, because every time she looks up, I'm somewhere different. So cool. I wasn't ready to be set down, but the Lord, he had other plans, and he set me on down. And, we agreed, me and my child's father agreed that we're going to have this baby. We're going to be a family. Now I am really moving to Texas, right? Because before it was just a thought. It wasn't something that I was ready to really put a trigger on. I'm just going back and forth, weighing my options. So we planning our little family or whatever, and we're trying to get to a good place. Because again, I'm pregnant by somebody I don't even know. Like, I don't know this man. I only been knowing him 2 months. And then wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Now I'm somebody mama. Because now I don't went from wham, bam, thank you, ma'am to wham, wham. Like, I'm a wham, wham now. I'm having a wham, wham. So this was already hard for me. But, whatever. We're persevering forward. And it is what it is. So I went back and forth a lot about moving down to Texas with him. And, like, being under his roof, because I had never lived with a man, right? I've always had my own. That's how I was raised. That's how I was taught. And my birth mom was talking, and she's like, well, you don't want your family not to work because of your own pride. And I'm like, okay, she's talking reason. Like, I have to see reason. So I pack up everything in my apartment. I end my lease, tell these people I'm moving out. And I'm on my way to Texas, right? Y'all, tell me why 2 days before my lease end, this man calls me and tells me that I can't move in anymore because he has to go to Nigeria for an emergency because there's been some new developments. Now, mind you, at this point, I'm already like 5 months pregnant, right? He has helped me move everything to Texas. Doctors, insurance. When I say everything, I got a job in Texas. Everything is in Texas now. And he tells me 2 days my lease end, oh, you can't move in, new developments, blah, 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 blah. Excuse me? Like, what do you mean? So y'all, now I'm homeless. I'm homeless, and I already have a high-risk pregnancy. So I'm going to the high-risk pregnancy doctors in Texas, and I'm having to drive out here to go to the doctor. And now I'm homeless, y'all. I'm sleeping in my car. So now I got to find a place, right? So I'm sleeping in my car, I'm trying to figure it out, going to truck stops, taking baths. Man, I was ashamed. Anyway, fast forward, I boss up, dry my tears, and realize you got to find a place to live in Texas. Because I got to boss up now. I'm somebody's mom, right? So, and the way I was raised by very strong women. So I was raised that you just don't lie down and take it. And I was raised that you don't let nothing, and I do mean nothing, outdo you. Period. You deal with it, you find a way, you dry your tears, and my auntie used to always say, you dry your tears, you fix your makeup, and you walk out with your head held high. You don't let anything outdo you. So I started looking for places. I find a place, but me and him are still going back and forth about still being together, and coming up with some things because his kids were supposed to be here soon. So he does what Niger men know how to do very well. His tongue is very sweet, and I'm in love at this point. I'm in love with this man. His tongue is very sweet, so he convinces me like, you just need to be patient. I just have to get some things settled. He's trying to get his citizenship together. So I buy whatever he's telling me. Whatever he's selling, I own about 15 of them. And I got 3 of them on back order. So I'm buying it, whatever. So we're still together, we're just living separately. Okay, now we're going to fast forward. I'm 7 months pregnant. We've decided that at the end of my lease, that I'm still going to move in with him. His kids are going to come. We're going to be a family. Like, he feeding me the best story ever. Like, this menu, top notch, chef approved. And I'm just taking everything off of it. And so, we're getting ready for the baby shower. I go to Arkansas. Woo pig suey. I go to Arkansas. I come back. And literally, I would say this was God. God told me, I heard a voice that said, go by his house, but don't call him first. Because normally I don't just show up. I will call and say, hey, I'm coming by. I'm 20 minutes out, whatever the case may be. Because again, even though we're planning to live together, that's his personal space and I'm respecting that. But this time something just told me, go by and don't call first. The Holy Spirit, not something. Well, y'all, so I just show up. I don't tell him that I'm coming or anything. I just show up, right? So he's already acting weird, right? Because normally when I knock, he sees me. He has a camera. He knows it's me. And I'm like, I have to pee. I'm pregnant. I'm 7 months pregnant. I got to pee. And I'm knocking. I'm like, hey, open the door. I have to pee. So he comes to open the door, but like, he's like standing in the crack of the door where I can't come all the way in. I'm like, boy, stop playing. Move. So I go to head to the bathroom. And tell me why, as I'm going to head to the bathroom, I see a woman in nothing but his wife beater shoot from the bathroom to his room, which is right across the hall. And I am shooketh. My fiber is gasted and my pearls are clutched. I didn't know what to do, what to react. And I had always said, if a man ever cheat on me, I'ma do this. If a man cheat on me, I'ma do this, I'ma do that. I bet I ever find out, blah, 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 blah. Y'all ain't do none of that. I was so shook that I couldn't even say nothing. I was stunned. Because again, if I had been cheated on, if I had ever been cheated on, I had never found out. So this was a first for me. And it was one of his exes. Like, I had known of the girl, but I didn't know her per se. Like, I didn't know her like that. Like, I had seen him with her because, again, we had a mutual friend. And so I had seen him with her before me and him ever started talking, right? So, again, when you don't know somebody, you see them with a woman, you don't really know what's going on with that. So I didn't know anything really about her. You know, so she seems to be just as shocked as I was. Like, you can tell from her reaction that he had been lying to both of us. Now, mind you, I had a dream like 4 months in that he was still messing with this girl. And in my dream, she told me, you can come pick up your man. Like, I'm done screwing him now. Like, that was her sentence. And when I woke up, I told him about it. And he told me, oh, that's just your pregnancy hormones. What did you eat before you went to sleep? All these things. I said, okay. Now, that's the thing. When you out of the will of God, God will still protect you. He will warn you. Now, if you don't take heed to that warning, that's on you. So that's why I say a lot of this, it's when I look back, it's really on me because I've seen plenty of signs and I just chose to ignore them. Like, I just wanted my family to work so bad that I just chose to ignore all the damn signs that was definitely showing me that this ain't the situation you want to be in. So anyway, I'm shocked. I'm sitting there and they start fighting. Like, they start arguing. As they are arguing, I'm not saying nothing. Like, I'm just sitting there looking because I've learned that when people start to go back and forth, that's when the truth comes out. So I'm like, okay, more than likely, if he been lying to me this whole time and she didn't know nothing about me and he been lying to her, I'm not going to get the truth out this man. So the best thing I can do strategically at this moment is to shut the hell up, sit back, and let all the answers to the questions that I have come to me. Now, mind you, while he doing all of this, he's still on a work meeting. So he unpaused the meeting, told them, hold on. They start arguing. And all type of stuff coming out. I mean, stuff that, what? So it did come out that when we did start talking, he was truly single. He wasn't talking to anybody. But somewhere like 3 months in, from the time that new developments, if y'all remember the new developments came along, the new developments was she came back in his life. And instead of being real to me, because I told him from the jump, like, we don't really know each other like that. So if you got somebody else, just be real with me. We can figure out how to cope it. So y'all, as they're arguing and she's telling me I need to get out and she's like getting real aggressive with me and I'm like, I'm not about to fight you, girl. I'm pregnant. And tell me why this girl says, I'm pregnant too. What? Oh, the plot thickens like oatmeal that you let sit too long in milk. When I tell you, y'all, that was the craziest moment of my life. Like, she's basically telling me, like, she pregnant too. Like, I'm 7 months pregnant and she like 2-3 months pregnant. But mind you, they've been talking since I was 3 months pregnant and I never knew a dang on thing. Yo, it was crazy. Oh no, but wait, There is more. She wasn't the only woman that he was dealing with. So fast forward, I really just decided, this is too much for me. I'm done. I can't deal with whatever this is. And I start to go live my own life, right? So I'm like, whatever. I'm still in love with him. We still having our back and forth or whatever. But I'm still in love with him, right? So he tells me that they're done. Again, I know that what I'm saying sounds stupid now. But then when you're emotional, you're going through postpartum, you got all this, you've been pregnant before, this your first child, you in love with the person, you would deal with some pretty crazy shit, right? And I wasn't healed. I wasn't emotionally intelligent. I didn't know how to deal with my own emotions. I was just very ignorant and young in a lot of ways, and I hadn't matured or owned my person as a woman and understood certain things, right? So he was having a field day with me. Let's just be for real. This man was playing me left, right, and center. And I was the happiest ball there could be on the court. But anyway, so I post him for Father's Day. Make a long post thanking him or whatever. I get a DM. I get several DMs after I tag him in the post that I made for him. And this particular DM that I'm referencing was another woman coming to me as a woman. Because the thing is, let me be for real, even though me and this man could not get the relationship stuff together, he has always been a great father. Now that's something, he may not have been present in the house because, again, he was doing his own crap. But when it came down to his daughter, he gonna move mountains and knock people's head off their neck. Like, let's not get it twisted. A man can be a good father and, side note, a man can be a good father and not want you as a woman. Like, you guys can just not work out. Just because you have a child by him doesn't mean I have to bash him as a father because he wasn't the partner for me. And again, let me again say this is not me bashing him at all, because later, we have developed a good relationship, and he was able to say, like, he was just in a weird place in his life at that point. Because if we all be honest, we gonna all talk to more than one person at a time. And if a baby comes up, then that complicates things, especially if you're not trying to get serious or you don't know where your life is leading at that point. Y'all, and when I say I'm thankful to her, I really am, because when I say she helped me with my healing journey, I lie not. Like, y'all, it was so bad. The postpartum I was going through was so bad. I was literally in the house. This man, I still was cooking for him. He was coming to my house, eating, doing whatever he needed to do, and then going back to this woman. And I'm in the house being faithful to a man who got another woman and several other women, because I was just, it was a new situation. I didn't know how to deal with that, or, that type of situation. But she definitely taught me to, like, take my power back. Like, you having a child that's not in your life, like, people will still date you as a single mother. Like, the man for you is out there. This man may have just been put in your life to bring you your child, but it doesn't mean that he's the man for you. That doesn't mean he's going to be your husband. It doesn't mean that he's going to be the person for you. And in hindsight, for real, so many people were warning me about the situation before I even really got into it. But I was so blinded and hurt and not wanting to deal with my own trauma and sadness that I ran to something instead of waiting. Y'all, and when I say she helped me with my healing journey, I really do mean that. Like, she introduced me to OCC, which is now my church home, because I was so broken. And I didn't even know where to start putting the pieces. And it started affecting my daughter's relationship with her father. Like, she would see the hatred that I had for him because of the pain that he had caused me. And she would cry every time we tried to pick her up or interact with her. Like, she wasn't giving him the love of a father, because I never kept him from his daughter, even though we weren't good as a couple. That had no do with him and his daughter, right? My biggest thing was always wanting her to have a father in her life. Y'all, I made so many realizations. Like, even with all the things I put up with it, I did that because I had to go to therapy, y'all. Now, I ain't come to these realizations on my own. I hated this man so much that my life was in shambles, and I had to go seek professional help. I had to realize that because I was adopted and I only had my aunt, my dad had passed, my mom was, living her life and getting herself together. I wanted my daughter to have a father in her life so bad that I was putting up with things that I shouldn't have. Even getting introduced with him and moving so fast with him was me trying to heal, that trauma or that pain of grief of losing my aunt, aka my mother. And even the things that I was dealing with, I had to realize that I was trying to heal my childhood trauma through my actions, and then trauma dumping on him and making him responsible for things that really wasn't his responsibility. That's why they say that you need to come healed. That's why they say that you need to be whole outside of your partner. Because if not, you now start to put up with things that you shouldn't, or you now start to exemplify things that you shouldn't and put it on the next person. And there's a lot of unnecessary trauma that I also put onto him. Like, I'm not bashing him, and I can take accountability.
What to do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. Back in the confessional. Yes, we staying lit, big dog. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. I get the message at the end. The only problem I have with that is that it depends on how old you are if you realize if you have trauma. And then, you know, I'm going to just be honest. We didn't have counseling like that as kids do now. You know, like counseling, well, I mean, we had it, but it was more for troubled individuals. Most normal people didn't have counseling. Like if you were a normal teenager, you had some little troubles, little issues here and there, fights and stuff with friends, parents. You know, that didn't mean you needed counseling. I mean, people even they had crackhead moms and stuff like that. They didn't have counseling, but now it is prevalent that people understand that they have counseling available to them. So it's harder for a lot of people to come healed when they don't know. So I'm understanding, like, now, like my daughters plural have counselors. So it's easy for them. I've spoken to a counselor a couple times, and honestly, I don't think I need it. It's just easy to talk to somebody, and I'm a talker, so I'd rather talk to somebody I know versus talk to a stranger, because then I feel like I'm just talking to somebody and just letting them know. But then I want to control the conversation. They want to control the conversation, and I want to control the conversation. And I don't really want to talk about just whatever they feel necessary that they want to talk about. And I just be like, because I really don't want to just, if they tell me about your childhood, like, like what? All right. You got to get me high or drunk. Get me drunk, I'll tell you everything. So, but I don't think that, like, so I don't think that she was just trauma dumping on him. I think that's all she knew. And then once she realized that she was going through something and she was pushing something on somebody that wasn't deemed necessary, you grow and you learn how to deal with those traumas. But honestly, you don't really know that you have those if you go into counseling as a young person. You really don't develop those traits of knowing what's going on in your mind unless you go to counseling after you had some type of life altering uh events. Okay, if you had life altering events, then maybe you could kind of see that. But shout out to this woman for getting cheated on. I mean, it happens, and she kind of took it on the chin. She was looking. She was probably desperate to keep that family, which she said she was kind of. And I think we can all find that to a fault. I've actually thought that, like, man, I kind of failed my kids because I was not able to secure my relationship, and me not being able to do that, it's like, damn, I really wanted to have that for my daughter. But because that didn't happen, now it's like you have to go through so much, and while being a father, and it's just like, man, this is not how this is supposed to go. You know what I mean? And so now there's going to be a time where you have to debate with the mom about certain things, like, you know sports, um um after school activities, parent teacher conferences, and things of that nature, all the way up until, you know her first menstrual cycle and things of that nature. But It is what it is.
Everyday people.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as early as 1 week.